Hello everyone and welcome to ZP Productions, and today we'll be taking a look at the CMIT 5 versus the MiniCMIT. Is there any difference at all? I'm Richard and welcome to ZP Productions, and today we'll be taking a look at the MiniCMIT and the CMIT 5. Now, Schoeps say that the MiniCMIT is the CMIT 5 with a permanent high-pass filter at 70Hz, but there's a fourth order high-pass, which means that there is a 24 dB roll-off, while the CMIT 5 only has a third order 18 dB roll-off, but at 80 Hz rather than 70 Hz itself. So there should be some difference, or is there? Now, Schoeps say they should sound the same and are interchangeable, so I'll let you guys listen to whether there is a difference or not. Firstly, I will not talk about the polar patterns and the frequency response, because if you actually go online and search, they say that it's the same other than the permanent roll-off on the MiniCMIT. But the funny thing is that the MiniCMIT is supposed to be rolling off at 24 dB, but the graph, they were sharing it, so I don't really understand. So that is something for us to test today. Now, first off, the CMIT 5 is now on no setting at all, which means this is on its default, everything flat, no boost, no high pass, nothing. So let you guys hear how it sounds like so far. Later, in a few moments time, I will be activating the high pass filter, which is the 18 dB cut at 80 Hz, and then let you guys hear, how does it sound like versus each other. Once I activate that, it should be really close between both of these microphones. Okay, now I have activated the high pass filter on the CMIT 5 here. So now the MiniCMIT and the CMIT 5 should sound really similar, at least according to Schoeps. Now, I personally have heard a little bit on this setting just now. Sounds about the same, really, very close, which means that even if you close your eyes, open your eyes, look at the screen now, and see what mic is running, because you can actually see what mic is running, they should sound almost the same, and you probably can't tell much of a difference between both of these microphones. Now, I will talk a little bit about other than just, the sound signature, because sound signature-wise, Schoeps says the same, so let's listen to it on our own. But, in terms of the gain, there is a little bit difference. I mean, the CMIT 5 actually requires 2 dB more gain. It is 54 gain on my MixPre 3 here, and the MiniCMIT is approximately, 52 gain on my MixPre 3, so there is a 2 dB gain. Now, this is, of course, in its high-pass filter mode or its neutral mode. But just now, when I was trying myself, I did try a high-presence boost on the CMIT 5, and actually it becomes hotter than the MiniCMIT itself, which means that the CMIT 5 actually produces 2 dB more sound, or should I say it requires 2 dB less in terms of its gain, and sounds about the same as the MiniCMIT. So there is some difference in it. Now, overall, both of these microphones are really similar. If I was to compare them physically, you can see that the interference tube, or should I say the first half of the microphone in the MiniCMIT case is the first 3/4 of the microphone, looks exactly the same, while the bottom is different. So I'm assuming the capsule, the interference tube, everything is reused. Only thing that is not the same is the, I would say, as the electronics within the microphones. And it's actually quite different because, the CMIT 5 firstly has a different input impedance. It has more buttons and it consumes more power, 2 times more power than the MiniCMIT itself. So is there any difference in the sound? At least, in this mode that I'm currently speaking at, I think there is no difference at all. But for you guys to listen, so far it has been quite similar to me. Do you guys see any difference when I actually activated the high-pass filter on the CMIT 5? I think that this mode should be really close to each other. So for now, I'll be actually activating the high-presence boost on the CMIT 5. And during this point, I believe you really can hear a difference between both of these microphones. Now there is a significant difference because even in my headphones, I can hear a difference. So now the high presence boost has been activated on the CMIT 5. And as I said earlier, the CMIT 5 with high presence boost is actually, I would say, as louder than the MiniCMIT itself by about 2 dB. So rather than being 2 dB lesser, now it seems to be 2 dB more than the MiniCMIT itself. So it is a lot brighter, hotter. And when I was listening to my own voice, it just doesn't sound very pleasant in this mode. Just my personal thought. I mean, the high presence boost is mainly for putting this whole microphone within a windshield set. And by the way, this demo set that I got from my supplier, this is I think this version doesn't seem really new. I mean, it looks like something from 2 to 3 years ago. The packaging, everything looks a bit older, but the manual did write about the MiniCMIT, so it should not be older than 2017. It should be a 2018 or 2019 stock. But that being said, the kit that comes with it is the mono windshield kit, the WS3 by Rycote, and I was just having fun with it just now. But most importantly, I just want to try the mic. Anyway, so far, I think you guys can already hear the difference between the MiniCMIT and the CMIT 5 on high presence. So there is a significant difference. So if you want such a function, the high presence wise, you should actually buy the CMIT 5 rather than the MiniCMIT, because this is actually very useful if you start putting windshields, softies and stuff, which does cut away your high frequencies, and I think this will pretty much solve most of those problems. Of course, if you are using something like the sound devices, I think 833 version, I think that has a built-in equalizer which allows you to boost the high ends, so you can actually use the MiniCMIT and achieve the same sound quality as the CMIT itself. The MiniCMIT is really good. It is small, it is light, and you can fit it in something like cozy and super usable for almost any situation itself. So I think we have heard most of this. I'll be doing a little bit of test to just see whether is there any difference or not. But this is going to be a subset of my usual microphone test. I'll be deactivating the high presence boost because we are no longer going to test the I'll say as the sound quality. We'll test all the things like the interference and stuff, and of course off-axis rejection. Is there any difference or not? So let me deactivate the high presence and we'll start doing all the other tests. Okay, now I have deactivated the high presence, so let's try a little bit of the test. So I will do a bit of off-axis test, which I usually do with my other microphones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think you have heard the MiniCMIT and the CMIT 5, the difference in the off-axis. I don't think there is much. So next thing I'll do is play the traffic sound from the left side, and then let's hear whether do they reject the same amount of voice. By the way, as I said, I deactivate the high presence means there is still the high pass on. Okay, I think that you guys heard roughly the traffic sound that I usually play for all my mic tests. I'm speaking normally now, not elevating my voice to just fight the traffic. So let you guys hear how it sounds like in a situation where the traffic is to your left, and this is again the MiniCMIT and the CMIT 5. The CMIT 5 is on high pass filter but with no high presence boost, so it should sound really close to the MiniCMIT and in such a situation itself. So really just want to try whether is there any difference in such a case. The next thing we're going to try after this is the room tone, because both of these mic does have a different power intake, so maybe it affects the room tone and the self noise. So let us hear it now. So now we'll do the room tone. I will keep quiet for the next 5 seconds and replay on both mics. Okay, I think you guys hear pretty much the room tone. I won't be doing all the other tests because I pretty much believe that they are very similar in specification. So it's just a case where, because there is a different electronics, maybe the way they reject sound, accept sound, and let you guys hear the sound, maybe slightly different. But the moment if I do the 2 feet test, it should be very same because both of them are using the exact same interference tube design. So I don't think they will change because the capsule and the tube is the same. So the sound quality will probably carry through those tests. And that's about it for today really. I think this is a test just to let you guys hear, how does it sound in terms of the MiniCMIT and the CMIT 5U, because both of them are very premium mics. The price difference is about $150 USD. I mean, the MiniCMIT is about 2150 and the CMIT 5 is 2300. In Singapore, you can get this at 2.9K for the MiniCMIT, 2.9K Sing dollars. And the CMIT 5 is really hard to find. Most of the distributors are carrying it over, I think, if I'm not wrong, about 3.2 or 3.3K. It's quite expensive to buy the CMIT 5 in Singapore. Or is it 3.5? Yeah, it's quite expensive, I remember. So if you are looking at a CMIT 5, Singapore is not a good place to purchase, but the MiniCMIT is actually quite affordable here. And really, that's about it. This is the CMIT 5U and the MiniCMIT. I hope that it helps you make a decision between buying the CMIT 5 or the MiniCMIT itself. Now, you may be thinking, maybe weight, there's a difference, but really, there is very minimal weight difference. I mean, the CMIT 5 is like 95 grams. The MiniCMIT is like, 78 grams. So you're only going to save 17 grams. More, if anything, the thing that you're saving is mainly the size. And with the size comes, things like your windshields, your sock, your boom poles and stuff. Because when you look at it, the MiniCMIT can use something like the Sinella Cozy or Mia Pianissimo from Sinella too. But if you are using something like the CMIT 5, you will need the full piano or something like the modular windshield 3, which both of them are really, really, really large compared to the MiniCMIT's requirements. So, yes, the mic itself doesn't save that much, but considering the other items such as the windshields and the zeppelins and stuff, the MiniCMIT will significantly save at least 100 to 200 grams at the end of the boom pole the moment you compare them between different windshield sets. And that's about it. I hope you enjoy this short little video of the MiniCMIT versus the CMIT 5U.